Hello and welcome. Let's take a look at some markets that are pumping today. And there's a lot of interesting ones, although I've only looked at one of the charts, that being this one, DGB. 400 Satoshi at around 10:30, breaking up from 338, less than an hour beforehand, and just nice moves. One leg higher correctionary play, and the second one, and now a further larger correctionary move. And well, we'll see how it goes from here. This is just a single minute time frame. For its hour is, well, okay, thank you very much. Just an interesting move. 4 hour, we can see a break of any type of resistance trend line. Just a phenomenal break. And on the daily term time frame, uh, clear break. Weekly chart. Now it's establishing its level of resistance it needs to for reversal of trend. It's that of Crypto Chain that is doing the best on Bittrex right now over the last 24 hours. It's only a bit traded or available outside of the United States. I've never even heard of it before. It just started. But good day, though. Good day. As this thing was just hanging in there, it started at like 10 p.m. last night, and its volatility is still quite high at this current time frame. 5 minute chart. Well, I can't say it's so much, but as far as when this volume comes in, decent sized moves. And if you've been playing in the buy low, sell high game, if you happen to have been up at this time, or you've been selling at 1300, oh, you got your buy order fill. Maybe you sell again here, sell again up here. If you're there and you happen to sell, say at 6:40 a.m., if you were fast enough after that time frame, and that's not hard to do if you're on the computer. Oh, 1713 sell fill. Okay. Well, where did it come from? This area here at like 1365. Yeah, and then of course it goes down further to like 1270. Oh, buy. Okay, and then you might miss the sell. So be it. But yeah, that's CRO. XZC is next. Not really traded usually on decent sized volume, but when you're trading for most position sizes for a lot of people, you'll get the job done with only price paying. And it is on Binance, so maybe I actually might be misspoken on such. I'm just not trading it anymore. Obviously, having a good gain, I would presume. 5 minute time frame, but yeah, I think it started here, 825, and then 15 up to 35. Now back at 25. The daily, was there any setup for it? Well, yeah, there was. As we had before, just this choppy up and down action. Choppy action meaning spending time equally pretty much above and below the 18 average and obviously inside it as well. If it's able to get higher, it doesn't usually break any higher or any further up. And then lower, it doesn't break new lows. That's a typical choppy market. But within it, things were starting to change because as it broke above the 18 average in February, it spent no times below it, supporting it on 3 occasions, resisting it quite frequently, even piercing above it in the middle of February, and again at the end of February. But the last time it pierced above it on March the 4th, it established this level of resistance, a big level established. And it also supported the 18 average of highs. So therefore, there you go. So within that line, if you're waiting for that clear break, how easy would that have been for a day trader? Assuming you were available on the 5, you're seeing it tangle within it. It's not clearly breaking it. And then in here, you see how it has a fast move. But this is a good indication when you see that volume in here. So if you're able to see this at this point, okay, well, I already know I need to have a clear break above it. I don't want to miss that move that obviously did come. So is this an indication to me? I mean, this is a pretty good price at 15,194, given you'd be willing to buy at 153 in this upper area here. And then further this decline here, quickly coming back up, and this is another indication too, and albeit not on big volume, but here it goes. Now what happened here? I gotta take a look at this on the one, but the only thing that makes sense is that someone just bought it up instantly. There's only, yeah, someone just bought it up instantly. That is just a wild, wild move. So to explain this candle, how this makes sense is the last trade at 6:12 a.m. was where that line is. Nothing was traded from 6:12, the 12-minute mark to the 18-minute mark. The first trade on the 18-minute mark was that of 2,943 of these coins. It says 2.934 thousand. That's like nothing. Double O one at the time. 3.5 Bitcoin. Can't say that. Still really small though. So someone bought 3.5 Bitcoin worth. And really more than that, because that was based on this price down here. So 3.7 Bitcoin, 3.6, somewhere in that area, under 4, over 3.5 on one buy. They bought everything up to that level. And this is where it gets really tricky. Because it would have had to been a multiple stage buy within that minute. Because for the market to look as this period does, that means it has to open here, which means it has to get bought up. Which also means the price had to have fell down there, which is easy on a one trade click. That's very common to happen. But that would have to mean further that it came back in that minute instead of spot at the exact same point before, which can make sense if that was maybe a good size order. And then it got taken, and then probably it might not got taken out. But then the next period would have opened down here, which meant it got sold down. Some sell orders would have filled. It obviously would have been bought up to that point there. And then throughout this time of the market doing nothing afterwards, but holding and staying nicely above where it was. Again, if you're looking for that clear breakout, this is an interesting time to buy. I'm just saying again that now all of these orders were filled in. It doesn't usually take much volume to get it back in here again because it all got liquidated in here, all that supply. So this is new supply entering the market. And there's a lot of people who would normally add it who can't because of the fact they're not knowing it happens, and even combinations that they're moving funds from a wallet and it's not going to be available via confirmation. Now, as far as its monthly and weekly, this is the monthly in a bear market. It's an attempt to neutralize the band more than anything. Still a productive situation. And here, this is established resistance. Yeah, a little too, not too high, not too low, just right. It's a little too high, but hey, if that's where it is, it's where it is. Well, this thing will have to settle down, but for now, you can probably expect there to be some decent volatility that follows thereafter. Via coin is next. It's the coin I always think of a train because Via Rail is a train that's normal in Canada. It's one that I've ridden a few times. Oh, I mean, what? And this line that I drew in like 10 seconds ago, kidding. That was a long time ago I drew that in. Happened to hit. I'm so kind of surprised about that because they don't usually do that so well. And then, of course, piercing a little bit above, too. I mean, it's not like. I mean, that's a surprise. I'll look at that later. That's just. Wow, what a pullback from there. What a rise. I mean, it's even pulled back even to this 122 on the daily. And this thing got going late yesterday evening. Has continued magnificent volatility. This move here, the lower high move, I mean, if it just happens to go way up, way back down and everything, that's why sell orders work. And amongst this on the weekly, this key level of previous Fibonacci that just happened to do something today. It's a statement, I guess. You have this continuous downtrend. You resist this level, you come back. Now it makes it extremely important to hold somewhere in here. I mean, this thing could be like Theta was on November 30th and come back to this band and it can still work, but it really does. I mean, weakness on the 18 lows is a must don't do, basically. Ideally, you want to see it hold above this 10.5 number. But even in here at this level, I even more ideally at a bullish level, right where it is now. This previous level of resistance from November in here as a possibility. GRS is up close to 50% at this time over the last 24. And I want the Bittrex chart because it'll have more data. Okay, it hasn't given us back as much of its gains. But again, sell orders work. Okay, this is it's working on its second day. When did it go up? It started its move yesterday morning at 8 a.m. And all it did was go from 61 to 19. A 3x move. The first move was a 2x move. And then it did that again. It did two 2x moves. How do you do? And then going from 20 down to 12 and change, your standard correction of well more than 30% down. And that's so true because it hits this 18 average like that. So whether the volatility is a 30% down move from this move or a 3% down move stock market like from this down move or a 0.27% down move forex currency like, which is like the yen and the euro. Oh, this thing went down 0.3% on its hourly time frame like this. Okay. The move is obviously just a spectacular one. Again, if you think of all the stuff, if you're trading this, you sell up here, buy back, sell up here, buy back. And see, oftentimes what I would be doing is the larger orders. So in here, 55, let's assume I was in an area where I was a buyer. I want to see this. Okay, I'm going to maybe sell up here and then have a sell order near 10. And I might have missed that. I probably would have. 93.83, I probably would have sold near 98, 99. And then if I see it comes back to 8,000, I'd probably just take it though. And then pull back. Again, you can sell a bit in here. But for this type of move, what type of order should you have? Let's just assume, okay, I want to sell a little bit in this area here, say around 75, or maybe around 12 and like 20. And there you would go. Now the 20, I might not get. It might be 19,888, but still, I want to make sure I can get as many of them like that as possible. Now this thing has went up so fast. Is it due to pull back? Well, at some point, although this weekly chart is kind of fantastic. It's gotten this multiple hit level of support. Its previous history continues this uptrend even though it hasn't kept this up. Oh, excuse me. Up move, like up market, but even though its uptrend line has been taken out, it didn't break resistance. It kept established support really big, and now this is test number, including this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this general area of 15,000 Satoshi. How did it hold each time? Well, this one went instantly down. This is one of those wacky buys. This one had a large price decline. This one had a small, shorter term one with the lower high. And then its bigger one, its more longer term high from here to here overall, was higher than this. Its high was higher again. Its pullback was about the equivalency of maybe even a little larger in percentage, but because it was a higher move, higher low. So now holding and staying above about 8,000 Satoshi to me would be very, very important. Let's see how NAV looks on the weekly chart, because that one's also doing well. Wow. Okay. It's doing amazing, and it's barely whispering. It's getting past the whispering of a statement. Because you can scream out you're doing something, you can whisper you're doing something. It's definitely not screaming that it's breaking out, but it's breaking out of the 18 average on the weekly. The daily has had continuous days now, looking like it's third after a break of the 18. But what makes it even nicer when you look at yesterday to today. Yesterday's session has this amazing high, which is currently below the current level. It pulls back. Today's session pulls back as well to here. This has got to look fantastic on the single hour time frame. Okay, so this is that situation that I don't like. You have this big high, and all of these hours go by, and then they come back again, and you're back to that previous level. You're well overextended on this time frame to get there. As it's just had this phenomenal move from 45 to this level. I mean, all you got to do is get a pullback to maybe 52 or 51 or 5,000, which is like what 12%. And I'm sarcastically serious. Like 12% is okay for a lot of forms of trading. But within it, if this thing goes further, as I stated, it was just whispering that it wanted to break out. Getting past the whisper. Now you go from whispering, barely hearing, to, yeah, I can hear you. And then I don't hear you loud. It might make you hear it loud if it ends up breaking out above this level of resistance. Civic is next. Now, how these coins might be related or not, I don't know. I'll make this the last one of the coins on Bittrex. Then I'll just quickly put my... I don't got many coins on mine anymore. Civic is on Coinbase now? Interesting. Okay. I haven't used Coinbase in like forever. Ever since I got my Trezor hardware wallet, I moved all my funds off there, and other than get my Litecoin cash off, I've never used it since. I mean, wow. About 17 up to about 31, it looks like. Close to a 2x. And then 3 or so periods after that, just nice and choppy within the hour. Now back down the 18 lows, and it's had to manage several percentage correction wise. I mean, how could you have seen that there was a good chance this was going to go up? I mean, what could have I seen on here? Those people that say technical analysis doesn't mean anything, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt here. How can you tell? I mean, really. I mean, all we've seen was these higher lows, how it was spending some time above the 18. There was a little bit of nice volume yesterday coming in, breaking higher. I mean, I don't know what you could have seen to tell that this was going to happen. I really, really do. Yeah. Man, this thing has been down a lot in the weekly. Now, I don't know if these lines mean anything. They don't usually hit too well for me. But I have lines in at 39.84, 73.76, and about 10.8. Okay, so DGB still at 365. Theta 44. Is Komodo got an arbitrage? Not close, no. And this is just amazing volatility overall. It really is. I like it. And this hour time frame's pretty sweet. But this setup looks really nice. I haven't even seen how Bitcoin's been doing lately. I got this sorted by percentage gain. It's not kicking butt since it's not 2.45%. Komodo, I've already looked at that. Dash, 5%. I'm a 1 hour time frame. I don't think that's anywhere near where my sell target would be. No, not even close. But I like its setup. I really do. So I think that's a positive as far as the crypto space. PivX I talked about earlier, so did AID, Vertcoin I did as well. Litecoin up to 55.97. It's not really changing since this morning. Litecoin against Ethereum, it's not really worth showing. I already talked about silver the other day, which was yesterday, I think. Here we got silver against the Canadian, Bitcoin. The one I care about is a 38.66, so it's not really changing. Gold's at 1300. Palladium's worth more. Ravencoin, this one's a little bit of a nuisance because, yeah, I mean, come on, Cryptopia, open up. I wanted to sell it like 900. I own this coin, but I'm still waiting for Cryptopia to open things back up. Ethereum, I don't own this anymore, but I'm still going to have this show, and it's a big staple. I just don't, I think it's, I just don't, it doesn't got the volatility need be. I'm not a big fan of its wallet, and let's move on. We got gold here against the Canadian dollar against the U.S. That's like, man, whatever. U.S. dollar index. Then we got the U.S. dollar against the U.S. dollar. Both of them are fake dollars against a fake dollar. So two fakes against a fake, as I like to call it, or see it as. The Dow Jones, man, it's had a nice little run higher and a little small correction. A good year so far in 2019. I know the weekly time frame has been a little choppy, but hey, we have the situation of the failed breakdown and maybe a failed breakout for further choppiness, or maybe it's that failed breakdown. We're going to come up here, find some support, break this resistance, and make our way onto a million. If that's the case, we'll see how cryptos and gold and silver do. And I'm sarcastic with that million. Maybe. And then the opposite for this is yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it's in the 18. No need to show it. I'll finish it off with an NLC too. It's been buying recently because when markets go up, I sell. Markets go down, I buy. Markets go up, I sell. Down, buy, up, sell. Basically been buying. I'll let you know in a spoiler. If this goes above the 18 average, I'll be putting in some decent amount of sells. In fact, I got a sell order just a bit below the 18 average of highs. Probably somewhere, well, it's above yesterday's high. Because this is where I bought. In here. And this was 7 a.m. I didn't sell it there. So yeah, I'm selling like 250, I think, in here. I bought somewhere down here. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day.